You know, somebody a while ago requested, I wish I remembered offhand who it was or what video they commented on, but somebody quite a few vlogs ago had actually requested to see the original Mike's Vehicles Vlogs intro with the original song and such. So, just for that, here's the original Mike's Vehicle Vlogs intro for you. Enjoy. Oh, well, it's a crappy, muggy, rainy afternoon today. And that's not really stopping me from doing a little bit of work on the Aztek. Now, yesterday, because it was nicer and stuff, I decided to kind of try to clean up some of the external parts of the engine for when we put it back together. So the plenum is kind of right behind me. You can see the plenum, and it looks a lot better. We sanded it down. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it looks really, really good compared to how it did. And the valve covers are back over there somewhere too, but they are now free of all of the grime and all of the dirt that has been coated on them for probably since this car was new. Nobody probably ever did any kind of engine cleaning. So we did that yesterday, and today we're going to begin the head cleaning process. My original plan was to take them to the machine shop. I want them to get inspected and such to see if there's any warpage or anything. And honestly, I'm not thinking there is going to be any warpage for how little this car was driven during its overheating process. But I don't think there's going to be any warpage. Doesn't really hurt to have them looked at though. But instead of paying the extra money for them to be cleaned, I figure why not just try to clean them ourselves here at home. I looked up a couple of different remedies online on the proper way to clean these aluminum engine heads, and I was reading a bunch of different things that people have done. I mean, some of it's really ridiculous. There's, of course, the standard, taking a bucket, spraying them down with brake cleaner, which I recently was reading in some comments. I wish I had thought about doing the brake cleaner instead of using the carb cleaner when I was going to clean like the valve covers and stuff. So we can still use brake cleaner, but I guess the brake cleaner is supposed to be a little more pungent and will clean a little bit better. So we're going to use that next time. I've read where people have taken their heads to the car wash and they've pressure washed them with like the engine degreaser and stuff, which is funny. My dad actually just suggested that to me too, and I finally read up on it online. So I could go that route. I could do that. And we have the more ridiculous ones where people have said that they've actually stuck the heads in a dishwasher and they've added extra detergent, and they run them through at least once or twice and it works out just fine. I don't know if I want to go that route. I don't really want to throw them in the dishwasher, but it is pretty interesting, a pretty interesting solution there. So I am honestly between doing the car wash pressure washer or just doing them, by hand with the brake clean and the bucket of warm water and such. But we're not quite at that step yet. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to disassemble the heads, or try to for the first time. I've never done this before, obviously. Matter of fact, all of the stuff that I've been doing to this Aztek I've never done before. So I can only hope that when it's time to put the car back together, it runs right. I really do think, it's going to be a really good running car once it's back together and in better health than what it was when I bought it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take the valves out of the heads. I was hoping I can just kind of stand on the other side of the porch like I did yesterday. That was actually pretty nice. Since I took that banister down, kind of using it as a work table, but since it's rainy and stuff, we're just gonna have to use the back of the escape. So here is head number 1. This is the front head off of the Aztek's engine. And this, this is the one that I did not replace. This is the gross, grimy one. But yeah, you can see all of the crud and stuff that's been in there, and the valve springs look disgusting, and I'm sure the valves themselves, well, the bottom of the valves look pretty gross. They are all burnt black, carbon over the years, except for that one. That one is pretty interesting. It doesn't really have as much carbon on it, but the other ones are all burnt black. So, while the valves and the springs and stuff are out, we're obviously going to be cleaning them as well. I called a couple places, and AutoZone allowed me to rent this one here. This is a valve spring compressor. But you can see, like at the top of this valve, there's one piece in the center here to the left, one piece off to the right. You can see the gap in between them. So there's 2 retainers in there, and then at the very top, this entire cap is its own little retainer in a way. Then we have the spring, and that's pretty much it. Once all of these are off, the valve will be free. We'll obviously have to take it out from the bottom of the head, and in the seat, or the seal, the valve seal is in there also behind the spring. Now, I don't have those today. I'm not doing that today. We can hold off on that. But I figure we take all the springs and the valves out. And then for the most part, we can clean all of this maybe, in tomorrow or something, depending on how nice it might be, and depending on what method I decide to go with. So let me set the camera up on the tripod, and we'll start the disassembly process. I am wearing eye protectant, by the way, so since we're dealing with these little tiny parts that are under pressure and we don't know what's going to happen, we don't want to have anything fly off and hit us in the face, in the eye or whatever. So I guess this is actually a pretty simple concept. This particular spring compressor here is supposed to pretty much grab on as far as you can get. Grab onto the bottom of the spring, as best as you can get it. And then up here, this top's supposed to go over the top, and then once you turn it, it starts grabbing the springs and it will compress them down, releasing the keys at the top and the retainer, and then we can carefully just take off the whole thing. So let's try it. There's a little there's a little bar, back it up a little bit, goes into this little handle here like a T handle, and that's what we're going to use to twist the valve, or the valve spring compressor. Okay, so the spring is now compressed, as you can see, and kind of had to shake it a little bit for it to actually release from this these keepers up on top. So the keepers are, you can see it's moving now, but we got to get those keepers off of there. Now you may need to use like a pick set, but I don't really have a pick, so I might just try to, oh, there we go. Very important that we don't lose these. There's one there, and here's the other. So there's 2 pieces, as I had mentioned. There we go, just like that. And the inside they have these little grooves, and if you can look, you see how they kind of bevel downward? You want the thicker end, that's the top. This lower end is going to be the bottom part. You definitely don't want to screw that up when you put these back on. So from here, I should just be able to lift the spring up. And that's that. Wow. And the top little retainer is there on top still. So I'm going to set that off to the side briefly. And there's the seal right there at the bottom. Now honestly at this time I don't know what all that entails or how it stays on there, if there's springs in there or not. But we're going to go ahead and just flip the head over real quick and push the valve out the other side.
Oh, wow.
And there it is. Wow, look at all that carbon buildup.
Is that what that is right there?
That's all carbon, yep.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully we can clean this up pretty good. You can see it kind of coming off on my... The good news is it doesn't look like it's bent or anything, so this valve is still usable. It just needs a really good cleaning. So sweet. Alright, we got one valve out. Now I gotta carefully...
Is it off?
What?
The sound and everything?
No. I'm going to carefully undo this so I can get the next one off. We obviously want to be very careful with this because it's under pressure. We also don't want to lose that top piece when it comes loose too. Oop.
So that's where the valve looks like.
And there it is, yep. So there's the spring.
What's valve guide, you know?
And there's the retainer at the top. So the valve's loose. You can hear it at the bottom. But again, the retainer keys, like the other one was, is still kind of stuck. There we go. Alright, a little bit of shaking, got it loose. Doesn't really help with all the sludge buildup. That's probably why it's all stuck. Now again, I want to carefully get those keys out of there, those retainer keys. I think I got this locked down as tight as it's going to go. So carefully. Okay, I got one.
I can smell that tree. Oh, that smells nice. I think that's one.
Okay, we got them both off.
I think those are lilacs.
And there we go.
Wow.
Take off next valve.
Wow.
It's a little tight.
Huh.
There we go.
Huh. Not as much carbon buildup on that one.
Actually, I think it's got more. It's actually piled up.
Oh, piled up, huh? Every car gets that?
Every car gets it, yeah. It feels really gross and grimy. The other ones felt a little smoother than this. This feels gross.
We got 6 valves?
6 valves, 2 per cylinder.
Two per, oh, okay.
Because one's exhaust,
Yeah.
one's intake.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Because this is the exhaust one.
Oh.
Because that's the exhaust manifold.
Uh-huh.
So this one, that's the intake chamber. So the bigger one is the intake, the smaller one is the exhaust.
You know a lot more about cars than you let on. You know?
All right, so here are the 6 valves from the front head of the Aztek. They are out in the order that they were assigned in the head itself. We already looked at these two. Here's the this one has some white carbon on it. I'm not entirely sure what that might mean at this time, but the rest of the valve seem to be okay. Here's the other one from that same cylinder. It is blackened. No surprise there. And then here's this one. And here's this one. This one has a little bit of orange on the bottom. Again, don't really know what that means offhand. I have all the keys sitting next to the appropriate valves. Probably doesn't matter. And here is what we're looking at without the valves and the springs. Here's all the seals, and like I said, I'm not 100% sure what all of these entail, so I'm not really going to mess with those at this time. We'll flip it over real quick. And you can see some of the chambers, how they're blackened up in there also. Except for that one. That one doesn't look like it has a whole lot of black in it. So yeah, we'll try to obviously clean those up when we get to that point. I'm going to go have lunch now, and then when I come back, we're going to do the other head. The one that we just bought from the junkyard yesterday. So, stay tuned. Alright, so now we're going to start on the head that I just brought home yesterday to replace the back head of the Aztek. And I did that because of the one of the spark plugs was threaded wrong, and it seized into the spark plug chamber. So I just ended up getting another head without that. And with that head came these rockers, which I really didn't need because I took the rockers off the other ones before. So whether we use these ones or not, I don't know. But if you didn't see the last vlog, these they do seem to be a little bit cleaner than the other ones. While there is some, like, you know, gunk buildup and stuff at the bottom of this head, it doesn't look as black either. So I'm going to take these rockers off real quick, and then that way we can get to the springs. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing with this one. I also found out that this tool, you can attach a ratchet to it, and that makes it so much easier compared to using the little T-handle that they provided with it. So we'll start with this one. This is cylinder 1. No, actually these didn't stick at all. So that's already loose at the top. See? Wonderful. We will take out the valve. Now who knows how long this head's been sitting, but this one's got some white deposits on it. Bottom looks pretty normal. So, okay.
Is it raining?
Nope. the one with that weird rust on it. And it's not budging. This one's not going anywhere. Huh. I wonder if maybe it's seized up there. Go get my mallet and we'll gently tap on it. See if we can get it to budge. There we go. Ooh. Let's see. Ah. Okay. So this was probably keeping it from budging at the top. Really weird how this one doesn't really have any carbon on it. But this stuff up here is ugh. Cylinder 1, cylinder 3, and cylinder 5. We already looked at the cylinder 1 valves. Here's one of the 3s. The other 3. 5. And the other 5. Which has an odd color to it also. And here's the head. I want to see how bad this is. Ooh. There's quite a bit of sludge on this one actually too.
Oh.
See all that build up there?
Oh.
Oh, wow. This must have sat at an angle for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yummy. Here's the underside. And yeah, there seems to have been some rust or something. You can kind of see it up in there. So this is the valve that was stuck. You can see that stuff kind of flaking away when I touch it. Alright, so I removed one of the valve seals, and it really wasn't as complicated as I was imagining. Since we're not going to reuse these, we're just going to buy new ones. We could just pull them off with some pliers, and they may be kind of wedged in there, but you can see once you get a good grip on them, you can kind of wiggle them up and off just like that. Get a nice tight grip on it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Ooh, that one still had oil in there. There we go. That one actually looked pretty clean under there. Wow. That one too. Ooh. Wow, that one had a lot of stuff under it. Alright, and here's the original front head again. Okay, and that front one is off. Wow. Look at all that gunk on there. Whew. Try this one here. Here we go. They're all off. The ones on this end don't seem to be as bad, but that one and definitely that one seem like they have the most grime on them. Oh look, some grime fell out. Fascinating. Okay, so all of the valves and springs are now bagged, and they are placed in the bags in the order I took them out, so that way we know exactly which valve and which spring belong to which cylinder. And now, I guess for the most part, other than taking this thing off again, but for the most part, these things are ready to be cleaned. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of curious to see what the car wash would do. And the nice thing is, once these are cleaned, where that exhaust manifold wasn't even remotely attached to that chamber, it's funny. Well, I am curious to see what the car wash is going to do, but the nice thing is, once these are completely cleaned up, we can then maybe look for any cracks or any damages to these heads. And I'm honestly not expecting anything. Alright, so we decided to go the route with the car wash. And this is the head, this is the front head, the one that was all sludged up. It didn't do too bad. I mean, it looks better, but I expected it to be better too. Hair on it. Some of the sides cleaned up really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cleaned up nicely. But there's still some sludge and grime in there. I mean, it's a start for sure. Try to show you the underside real quick. Not much has changed there. A little bit maybe, but not a whole lot. So we'll have to do the, I'm gonna dry it off. Ooh. We'll have to do the, we'll try the brake clean method first, after we do this. Okay, so I have a can of brake clean. I'm probably not gonna do all of this today. I tried to dry off what I can. I don't really have any air, but I mean, it's aluminum, so it's not going to rust or anything. But let's just see what happens if we spray this on here. Maybe the car wash kind of helped, you know, loosen all that stuff up. So we'll just see what happens.
Might help you out.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you see it running. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some more of this to it. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. This really does work, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't help that the brush is gritty, but okay, I'll work on this for a little bit more. Alright, well, it's starting to get late, and you know, when I started working on these heads, I really didn't plan on going, I guess, all out on trying to clean them today. I honestly just wanted to get the valves and the springs and such off and prepare the head for cleaning, but I just couldn't stop there. So we went to the car wash and we tried to pressure wash the head, the original head, from the Aztek, not the one that I just bought at the junkyard. We took the original one in, and it really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, it may have cut some of the grime and stuff off. So I brought it back here and I tried to use the brake clean. And I went through a whole can of brake clean because the can that I had was nearly full. So I ended up using the whole can, and I really wasn't getting as much progress with the brake clean as I was expecting. Just a lot of smearing and hose it off, do it again, and it took forever. So whether I should have done this or not, I went back to my good old friend Extreme Wheel and Tire Cleaner and decided to give that a shot on these heads, being that they're aluminum, and well, most wheels that you would use to clean this with are aluminum. So like I said, I don't know if I should have used it or not, but it did the trick. Well, here it is. So you can see it looks way better than it did. I still was using a toothbrush, so there were some spots that I really couldn't get into, but I tried to get all of the important spots. Like over here on the side, I tried to get rid of all the gunk in the valley for the push rods, so the push rods should be moving freely. I tried to clean out the intake ports. As you can see, they cleaned up a little bit. Not too bad at all. Even the bottom, I tried doing the actual valve chambers, and that's how those cleaned up. Now I don't really care about all this because we're gonna sand this surface before we put it back on the engine. All the gasket surfaces are going to be slightly sanded and smooth, so that way we have good contact. But I might try to lightly sand some of this stuff off. I mean, it managed to take off quite a bit, as you can see, but there's just a lot of spots in here where this carbon is just caked on. And we tried to go in through here and got some of it off of there. Not too bad. I didn't even really do anything back here, but we're gonna sand the exhaust surfaces off a little bit. But I'm really surprised with how well the inside turned out. I mean, a majority of the sludge is gone. Oh, it's just very nice to look at. I mean, in this aspect, it's not really about the looks. It's going to be about the performance. We definitely want to make sure that we don't have any clogged passages and such. I mean, the nice thing is we're going to be adding seafoam to the engine oil once the engine's put back together. So there's still going to be some strong cleaning agents in the engine when it's running, and I'm sure over time that's going to help dissolve whatever I wouldn't be able to get. I tried to get all the nooks and crannies that I can. Some of these oil passages here, you know, look at that, they look a lot better, you know. So I mean, it's discovered some weird markings underneath all that sludge too, like scrapes. I thought that was interesting. Tried to put the toothbrush in through here, and I did get it through here, so we tried to get these main passages over here freed up. Let's see, there's a little bit of loose sludge in there I can pick out with my finger. Yeah, nothing too awful. But yeah. So just to clarify, let's do a before and after. So before, yuck, and after. Ta-da! Maybe I'll try to find something smaller to kind of clean the rest of this stuff out. I'll have to get another bottle of my stuff there, and then we'll start on the other head. And so far, I did take a look. I didn't see any visible cracks anywhere. You know, from looking at it, you know, I think the head is still in good shape as far as that goes. So that's it. That has to be one of the coolest dandelions I've ever seen. Wow. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude it for this vlog. Probably going to be quite a lengthy vlog, after I just said I wasn't going to do vlogs as often, but I'm really not. But it was Aztek related, so I had to. But yeah, hopefully I can get the second head to turn out just as good as that one. If it can eliminate being cleaned professionally, if that'll do performance good performance when the car's put back together and it won't really harm anything, then I think we'll be okay. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Check out teespring.com/store/MichaelSpotlight. Wow. For all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. And that's it. I have to go to the gas station, put some gas in the car. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. On a side note, gas got expensive again. I don't know where you guys may be from, but over in this area, that's the highest I've seen it in a long time. Tisk, tisk, tisk.